What is your opinion on objective truth, and what is your version of truth?
I definitely say that truth and right from wrong are pretty different things, because truth is going to be, regardless of human interpretation of it, truth is what happened and didn't happen, or what, right and wrong is kind of more of something we invented. I think. I think it's as simple as that.
How do you believe that we've come to the invention of right and wrong? Is there a need for a right and wrong?
Yeah, there has to be. I mean, there would be, without right and wrong, there would be, total, I guess anarchy would be the word for it.
You believe that without ideas of right and wrong, chaos would thrive?
That's sort of why I think, like, things like religion is kind of like a book full of rights and wrongs for people who can't just figure out what right and wrong is.
What is now your views on it?
I don't agree with objective truth. I think that, in Hamlet it says that there's nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. And I agree with that more than I agree with objective truth, because I think that, if we said as a society that certain things are wrong, but who are we to say that that's wrong? If we just decided that certain things weren't right and now they're not right, but who are we to, say that?
How about for instances such as murder or rape?
Well, that's wrong now, but that's because we made it so. We said that was wrong, so it's wrong.
I mean, truth can't be 100%, so it would have to be subjective. If you're speaking logically throughout life, there are only certain things that one can say is true, and even then you can never be 100% sure. Philosophically, Descartes in his Meditation 1 says that we can believe absolutely nothing but the fact that we do have a mind, and that we do exist. Other than that, there's nothing that we can be 100% that's true. Our perceptions are different. There's numerous studies that we perceive things differently than what they actually look like and are, so there's no 100% that anything is true, let alone validating that 100% of something can be true.
I feel like objective truth is false, because I feel that consciousness really allows us to interpret the world around us differently, even from person to person, human to human. We perceive what's right and wrong differently. So to say that there's just one truth and one not truth, then I don't believe that. And then also, I think it's definitely based on your perception on where you're at and who you are. So looking at the world in just black and white might lead to more of just a narrow perspective. So I don't believe in objective truth. I think there's definitely more shades, and taking into account all the perspectives will lead to a more, I guess, genuine truth.
So where do you think we find our opinions of truth or false?
I think we find our opinions of truth, I guess it'd be a little bit based on the nature of who we are, so the biological, just kind of like the instincts and how we've survived so far. That leads us one direction, kind of an instinctual direction, and then also how I think we, as humans, we have a unique ability to really perceive the world around us and make sense of it and change with it. So that piece of us, I think, is a piece where we're constantly reevaluating the world and changing the truth. What is right maybe in our past isn't what's right now. So there's a part of us that might be a little bit more stagnant, but then I think there's a part of us that's very changing, and that really doesn't allow for objective truth.
That there's no such thing as right and wrong. There's no such thing as good and bad, true and false. It's kind of just life. That's the way I see it.
Where do you feel that we derive our ideas of true and false?
We derive our ideas of true and false from the things we learn in our textbooks, the things we read, like depending on what religion you are, that's what you believe is true and false. The things you learn from when you're a small boy or a small child, whether it's your parents teaching you, or you're learning from the Bible, you're learning from a textbook. Like, it's whatever you believe to be true, right?
I would disagree with objective truth. Our senses and our perceptions are subjective, and everything that we know is based on those perceptions and those senses. So therefore, everything we know is subjective. But at the end of the day, I don't care whether you believe there's an objective or a subjective truth, as long as you're not imposing upon me. I would hope that both those ideas could coexist in the same world, and we could respect each other's opinions about that.